Welcome everybody to our Malaysia Digital Dialogue Perak edition, together with the Perak Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And they approached us because we had so many programs to talk about that we want to share. So 欢迎 everybody. And of course, my Mandarin also not that good. I mix around if I can. But because I don't get to see you all physically, I pretend that you are virtually there with me. So 希望你们可以 understand, especially 我的 colleague Stanley and Jade. Stanley can speak Rojak a little bit. 那是我 manager. I have another manager, Jade. 他等下会讲with regards for 我们的新的 program that we want to launch later in September. 对不起，我的 background 我是在 Eastern Hotel. 等一下3点我要上去 to another event, yeah. So sorry. So before we start, I would like to say thank you to PCCCI for this, for bringing your members to come in, and also to the public. And I would like to invite my colleague Stanley Law to do the emceeing and moderating. Anyway, I cannot stay put here. I have to go later to do rehearsals upstairs. So 我希望全部在这边呢，你们得到很多的好处。All the sharing from Law, from Miles, from Mike Chu, from Nicholas. Nicholas 也是我的同事。I think Nicholas punya Mandarin very 包啦 very cantik one lah. Nicholas, I'm sure you can talk. Okay. So with this, I will like to invite Stanley. Remove my pin and then pin yourself. Let me help you. And then after that, you introduce all the speakers. So I wish you all have fun. We hope that the session finish at 4:30. This session is recorded. Slides will be shared to the 27 people who registered here via Zoom. 如果你们有朋友要来的话，他们没有那个 slide, tell them to come and register with the Zoom link. Stanley, the floor is yours. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Carol. Today, we are quite excited because we have actually lined up a list of professional speakers who have extensive knowledge about digitalizations to conduct this briefing. So just a few housekeeping notes before we get started. First of all, mute your audio during the presentation. If you have any questions, do feel free to type into the chat box, and you can actually address the question during our Q&A sessions later on. And kindly take note that these sessions will be recorded and the presentation deck will be shared after the sessions. So without further ado, we'd like to start this event officially. And please allow me to welcome the first speaker of the day to give his briefing and knowledge sharing about digitalizations, Mr. Ken Yap.
Okay, thanks Stanley Law. OK， 各位嘉宾、霹雳众总同仁、各位来宾、各位媒体朋友，大家下午好。我仅代表中华总商会青商团，欢迎大家参与今天的线上讲座会。今天的讲座会主题是数码马来西亚对话会与 Saya Digital Program 的讲座会。在此，我特别感谢马来西亚数码经济机构 MTech 今天与我们霹雳众总青商团共同举办这个线上讲座会。让我来为大家介绍今天的分享嘉宾。我们第一位嘉宾是来自 SL Software Solution 的创办人兼董事罗文耀先生 ，Mr. 罗文耀，他会为我们讲解传统企业数码化转型所面对的挑战。第二位是理念机构 Neelian Corporation 创办人兼董事总经理赖国豪 Mouse Lau 赖主讲新零售 4.5 的课题。第三位是经营本地户外运动电商平台 PTT Outdoor 的朱金红先生。朱金红先生 Mr. Mike Chu 将跟我们分享电子商务相关的课题。以上这3位分享嘉宾都是来自我们霹雳州的怡保商家。接着就是来自 MTech 的罗真和先生 Mr. Stanley Law 及陈志峰先生 Mr. Nicholas Dan 将会与我们分享100数码化计划及数字资产 计划的课题。各位 P 中总和青商团一直以来都致力于推动本地企业实现数码化转型和迈向数字化经济的发展。毕竟无论是在国外还是国内的整体商业环境、消费者模式，在这2-3年来都已经发生了很大的变化。商家若不与数码经济同步发展，相信也会越来越难在这个竞争激烈的市场上保持竞争力。就目前的市场来看，我们相信数码化已经是在企业未来发展中不可或缺的一部分。因此，我希望所有的商家都能够尽快适应数码化的经济环境，以免在这个方面与时脱节。各位来宾，怡保司长较早前就宣布，怡保市将会成为全马第5个以及北马第1个 5G 技术可以达到每秒1G 网速的城市。除此之外，在今年10月底，全怡保也将会约有98个 5G 的网点，其中包括怡市政厅、江沙、金宝市议会以及华都雅也县议会。我相信呢，这也将成为我们的怡保区电商的一大优势，希望大家能好好运用这些优势。因此，除了设备上的加强以外，我们也真切希望能够通过类似今天的线上讲座会，协助大家更深入的了解有关数码转型知识，并学习如何通过转型来开拓更大的市场，并提升各自企业的发展。各位来宾， P 中总青商团至今已成立了15年之久。青商团除了为本地的青年企业家提供一个互相交流及学习的平台，也让团员们有机会认识各行各业的青年企业家，拓展自身的商业人脉。因此，本人在此欢迎霹雳州内48岁以下的青年企业家加入我们霹雳中总青商团的大家庭。此外，我也想趁此机会向大家推广，我们 P 中总将会在今年10月20日至23日在 Stadium Interamurnia 举办2022年霹雳商贸展销会。在这个展销会将是霹雳州内今年度最盛大的展销会。这个展销会呢，也集合了各行各业的参与。因此，我希望大家也能给予我们 P 中总大力的支持，同时也欢迎更多外界的业者与我们一起参与这个盛大的展销会。若有任何的询问，欢迎大家联系我们的中总秘书协谈。最后呢，我再次感谢我们今天的主持人罗真和Stanley Law 以及所有的分享嘉宾，也谢谢各位抽空参与今天的讲座会。我仅代表 P 中总青商团祝福大家身体健康，生活美满，事事顺利。谢谢。
Thanks, Ken, for the heartwarming welcoming speech. So now I would like to invite the second speaker, Mr. Lau, to share about the importance of digitalizations. So, Mr. Lau, the floor is up to you.
谢谢中华总商会以及 MDEC 今天协办了今天这场的一个event。我大概介绍一下我自己，我是Director Excel Software Solution， 本身也是一个 Chartered Accountant， 也是 IEMBA 的 Account and Finance 的一个毕业生。今天我会分享这几个内容，就是如何 digitalize 你的，为什么需要什么是 business digitalization， 为什么你需要数码化你的生意，你数码化你的生意的过程，你们遇到些什么东西？ 怎么样开始数码化你的生意，以及我给一些怡保的一些success 的 story 啦。OK，so 首先你要了解什么是 business digitalization， 你要搞懂这两个词哦 ，digitalization 跟 digitalization， 它是有一点点的分别的。digitalization 就是把一个东西电子化，就好像你把你的那个那些文件 invoice quotation 全部变成一个 PDF scan 给你的客户，那个叫 digitalization。可是如果讲到 business digitalization， 就是怎么样通过科技来改善你的公司的运作，通过科技来提升你们的那个生意额，以及拓展更多的生意机会。其中一些 example 就是你用barcode scanning，barcode scanning 的话会减少很多出错，也可以可以做更多的 sales 啊，每一天 ，OK。我整理了一些新的商业模式 ，OK。我整理了一些新的商业模式，为什么我们要数码化我们的生意？因为科技变得太快，从以前我们用 Calculator 到我们买了一个电脑系统，现在我们都已经在讲这是 Cloud Computing。Cloud Computing 就是网上 access 你的那个生意的 accounting system， 它有很多方法，包括 Remote Desktop、VPN、Cloud Accounting、Cloud Server 等等啦。OK， 如果是那些retail business 的话，从以前我们收银机到我们买一个POS system， 现在很多百货公司都已经开始用这个RFID，OK，Self Payment Kiosk， 科技已经去到客户可以自己收费 ，OK， 可以自己付费，然后全部东西你丢下去就已经scan 好了，然后客户只需要自己付钱就可以了。OK，F&B 也是 ，OK，F&B 从传统的你有一个 waiter 去写 order， 到最后现在 McDonald 也开始用 self ordering kiosk， 自己给钱自己 order，OK， 转型上网 ，OK， 从以前传统的一个杂货店 ，OK， 五金店，到上网去不同的 platform 去卖你的东西，Shopee、Lazada，Facebook Live， 现在开始流行 TikTok Shop，OK，so 批发商也是，批发商从以前你请很多个 salesman， 到现在客户可以自己通过那些 apps 来 ordering。so 上面以上我解释的都是一些数码化的一些例子啦，案例。OK， 为什么生意需要数码化 ？OK， 首先是离不开提高你的那个效率 ，OK， 提高你的效率，而且省钱。比方说你现在大部分都有一个电脑系统，直接就可以 WhatsApp 你的 quotation、你的 invoice 给那个客户 ，OK。第一，你省掉不用 print 那个 invoice 出来，不用 fax 那些quotation，OK， 直接按一个键，你就可以 WhatsApp 给你的客户，给你的 supplier，OK。第二是你比较有准确的那个数据，人手作业一定是会有出错的 ，OK。想象一下，如果没有那个 barcode scanning， 全部都是人手这样子 key 的话，很大机会率也是出错的。所以有了一个digitalize 你的生意的话，你可以减少人为的出错，也可以当场知道你今天的生意额。OK， 比方说今天是15号，你已经知道今天的生意额是上个月的10%、20%，所以你还有时间去improve 你的今天的 sales。OK。另外一个是太竞争了，现在的生意已经是太过竞争、太过激烈。OK， 每天都有新的那个 business model 出来，有很多你的同行已经转上网了。OK， 所以你必须要数码化你的生意。跟着下来就是 compliance 一些 income tax、GST、SST 之类的一些问题，为了 fulfill 一些政府的一些 rules。你必须要数码化你的生意 ，OK， 尤其是GST 可能会再回来，如果你还用人手去处理 GST， 那么多繁琐的那个程序的话，我觉得很大机会率会出错，而且会中北到底。最后一个就是我们需要很多的数据，现在做生意需要很多的数据，而且需要很容易的去拿到我们的数据，在哪里都可以获得我们的数据。OK，so 下一个问题就来了。So 如果是转型的话，通常会遇到一些问题，就是不够人才。OK， 没有公司里面没有一个 IT 的人才，公司里面没有一个很专业在 IT 方面的一些staff。OK， 所以他们也不懂要怎么样转型，要怎么样开始。第二个遇到的问题就是员工很多都不想开始，很多已经习惯现有的那个模式。当老板想要电子化、想要数码化他们的公司的时候，员工很多都不想配合，还希望是用回传统的方式。我也遇过很多还在用这 Excel 的一些会计部门，他就是往往不想用电脑。好，另外一个就是没有一个很好的 management，OK，就是没有一个人去管理整个团队。当你们要转型的时候，必须要一个人负责去分配每一个工作给每一个部门。OK， 怎么样去数码化整个生意？也跟着下来就是没有一个很好的 idea， 怎么样去转数码化？怎么样去把数据换过来，而且不会流失你的数据？怎么样开始？第一步是怎么样开始？第二步是怎么样开始？然后这个数码化带来的那个效益是多少？最后一个问题就是那个 budget 的问题。OK， 因为数码化你就要牵涉到一些 hardware 跟 software 的问题。好，今天我相信 MTech 这边有很多人才，他可以解决以上这种种的问题，包括他们有一些政府的 grant， 它可以提供给中小型企业去数码化他们的生意。要如何开始digitalization？ 第一，你先公司必须要先看自己最需要改善的一个部分是在哪里。然后第二是必须要整个团队 involve 在要 involve 在整个digitalization 的过程，必须要跟你的团队协议商讨。OK。然后需要找一些 business coach 或者是 IT 的 consultant 去给你更多的意见，看看现在market 的需求是什么。最后就是一些 financial 的 assistance， 包括一些政府的 grant 或者是一些银行的一些 loan。So 这个是其中一个成功的例子，也是我们公司的客户。So SL Machinery 它从传统的批发转型到门市。OK，implement 了一些 membership 的系统，到现在他们已经成功转型上网。根据2年前的数据，他们大概每一天的生意额，他们的订单大概是在2000张 order 左右。2000张的 order， 你大概需要10个员工，每一个员工大概要 key in 200张 invoice 进去他们的系统。每天要花大概8个小时。如果成功转型的话，我们成功帮他们数码化他们的那个e-commerce system， 他们大概只需要200块1个月，每天大概需要1个小时就可以把2000张 order 把它 import 回去他们的会计系统，直接做账。这个是其中一个怡保成功的例子。我们的公司是其中一个MTech 的 Approval TSP。我们除了做 Account Payroll Point System 之外，我们也有做一些 Smart Warehouse、Mobile Ordering、CRM 跟 Program Customization 的东西。这个是我们曾经帮怡保中小型企业apply 过的这个 MTech Grant。我们大概有380个客户其中有337个已经是 approved 了，还有大概18千，大概是40个客户还在等着pending approval。 其中只有3个公司是被 reject 了，原因是因为他们的文件不齐，或者是他们公司不够6个月。So 今天我的分享到这里。如果你们需要更多的 consultation， 你可以 scan 这个 QR code。同一时间，我们也会提供2个 free 的 voucher， 大概350块一张 voucher。如果你想让你的员工知道怎么样去做一个 full set 的 account， 跟怎么样去 check stock 那些，我们会给一个免费的课程。好 ，I think that's all. Pass back to you, Stanley.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lau. So thanks for the insightful sharing about digitalizations. So I would like to invite the third speaker of the day, Miles Lai, to share on digitalizations. Welcome, Miles Lai.
Hello， 各位大家好，我是 Miles Lai。OK， 大家都吃了午饭了哦。OK， 首先我先介绍我自己一下啦。OK， 我们是Neelian Corporation 沈江巴李彦集团。OK， 我们是在怡保大河园，应该大多数人都知道了。OK， 我叫 Miles Lai， 有些人叫我阿虎啦哈，就是这样。OK， 我们是2000年成立，2005年成为accounting， 就是那时的leader accounting UBS accounting 的非洲黄金伙伴啦。然后到2007年，我们也开始转型，除了会计库存和 payroll， 我们提供全方位的软件咨询啦。08年我们也成为 SmartPost 的非洲黄金伙伴。09年我们开始搬迁和装修容纳80人的培训中心。然后就2010年我们就被委任为非洲唯一的那个 Sept UBS 的维修服务中心，我们所讲的 Service Center 咯。然后2012年我们就是人力资源部的其中一个培训中心，就是我们讲的 HR Development Fund HRDF， 就是你们如果有交的这个钱的话，你们通常知道这个钱是用来培训的，所以我们是其中一个咯。然后2014年4月，我们开始在非洲举办第一个 GSD 的培训班，我们的顾客给他们所 standby 啦。然后这个是然后15年我们是 SQL Accounting 非洲的 Service Center 啦。然后就继续我们的 GSD 培训 ，OK， 希望可以帮到顾客去免除做错 penalty。然后就到17年，我们也在广大多那个解决方案的范围了。18年政府倒台了，然后就变回 SST 也是举办了。然后2020年我们成为非洲第一个说马来西亚数码经济机构 MDEC 认证的技术方案供应商。OK， 这就是我们了。我们成功历史，我们累计4000多家的公司的服务经验，然后我们也陪伴我们一个顾客叫吉马孙吉马吉马先生，他由第一间发展到现在超过80间门店，遍布西马各州。然后我们也开始协助顾客，其中一个顾客我们所看到的 Caring Pharmacy 全马超过100间的门店进行改革和提升，因为收费是一直去提升，因为要符合这个经济嘛。OK， 然后我们也为非洲商家成功改革而得到政府提供的数码化补助金啦。OK， 大约介绍了我公司我自己。OK， 今天议程大约是5个 topic 啦。OK， 大数据 O2O 智能支付物流的变化和招商，就是我们所讲的新零售 4.0， 大家知道吗 ？OK， 大数据，什么是大数据啊？你们开始大数据了没啊？你们做生意了 ？OK。有开始大数据，明白大数据的可以给一个1我吗？有吗 ？OK， 没事。如果还没开始大数据的 ，OK， 我觉得是时候了啦。OK， 已经开始大数据的人 ，OK， 像你已经收集了你顾客的资料 ，OK， 像完整和你整合了吗？讲完整整合了吗？比如说你有1万个顾客群，1万个顾客群。男的有多少，女的有多少，你们清楚吗？在 area 在哪里，你们清楚吗？然后30岁以下有多少，你清楚吗？为什么呢？因为我们大数据，如果你真的可以完整的整合，你大数据就可以跟顾客互动，可以开始跟顾客互动。 但是如果你的大数据是整合了，你是怎样跟顾客互动的吗 ？OK， 其实互动很重要。有以前的互动就是6个月他会 send 一个 statement 给你，现在你有多少 point 了，你的 point 可以换什么A 颇大 B 颇大，好局限嘅 ，OK。但是现在大数据跟顾客互动就是 OK， 可能你生日那天，它精准的 send 到 voucher 去你的电话，你可以用来可以消费，而不是每个人都send 了。比如说现在你有一个新的产品是适合30岁以下的女性，你不可能 send 你这个 info 给你的顾客群嘛，男的也收到嘛 ，OK， so 你怎样跟他互动 ，OK， 可以精准到互动嘛 ，OK， 比如说你做到了有效的互动之后，大数据我们所讲的大数据不是拿来看的嘞，一步一步这样做出来，就是你的大数据开始变钱了嘛。变钱的意思就是，比如说你现在有1万个顾客，你大数据有了，你的每一个人头开始帮你赚钱了没？比如说我有1万个人头 ，OK， 拉平均，我可以给到互动他，让他来消费，我每一个人头可以赚1块钱一天来讲哦，1万个就是1万块一天了，1个月就是30万了 ，OK， 1年就360万了，这样有效去利用那个大数据吗 ？OK， 这个最重要了，当然我们是expand 就是为了这样嘛 ，OK， 然后再下去变钱之后，1年有36万哦，每天有1万块哦，你的 expand 是怎样的呢？如果我要1万变成5万，1万个 member 我要变成5万个 member， 我的顾客我应该怎样翻倍增长？这个也是我们在讲这个 4.0 变成 4.5， 这个是现在我们顾客要的 ，OK， 因为如果你讲还没用system 的，还没数码化的公司，我觉得在场不多啦，应该大部分都有了，然后开始怎样去start 啦，怎样 kick start 怎样那些，我觉得也是有了，只是现在比较关心的是怎样做生意啊，怎样赚钱啊。不过时间上的关系啊，我不可以一样，我大约是给您知道，这个是大数据所要的最现实的东西，就是怎样变钱。OK， 第二，我们所讲的 O2O， 很多人最明白 O2O 是什么呢？就是 MCO， 我们所在家不可以开店做生意的时候，就是 O2O 最通行的时候，我们所讲的网卖啦 ，OK， 它的进化过程就是 4.0， 我们第一天。2020年第1天3月的时候，我们开始 MCO， 我们就看到开始很多这些平台跑出来了。对 ，Panda 我们所看的图啊，大家有没有看过啊？没有看过的可以给个2我吗？应该没有啊。OK，so 但是经过2年的洗礼，又剩下多少个呢？因为顾客已经从那个要的 4.0 变成他的需要，现在是 4.5 了。OK， 变什么呢？因为网上卖东西已经2年已经过去了，每个人都总讲网上卖东西了，就比较专注在网上卖东西了，门店讲班了。因为开始 4.5 新零售就是要接地气，讲接地气呢，就是网上销售没有问题啊，线下体验呢好像没有了呢。我们买鞋子，我们上去网上订鞋子，这个很普遍了2年，但是2年里面他们所发现的问题就是来到的 size 不对啦，然后不好穿啦，就 MCO 就没有办法啦。现在 MCO 后了，线下体验这个已经开始有这样的诉求了。OK， 所以我们实体店又重生了。怎样重生呢？就是网上销售那边那个渠道怎样招商，怎样招到你的顾客，然后他去你最靠近你附近的门店去体验。比如说你想买一张床，你是不是要去那边躺一下坐一下 ？OK， 但是到最后，当然你成功就是网上嘛，你不可以放弃的嘛，他也是在网上跟你订，但是你的门店最靠近的是帮你送货，还有做售后服务，这个就是又变到是 4.5， 他们更加有信心向你的网上购买，因为实体就是这样啦，实体店，这样你们已经准备好如何去做吗？我们因为实体店可以开回，不可能丢了我们当初辛苦的新零售嘛，你的网上已经很厉害了嘛，可以卖东西了嘛，像现在下一步你怎样网上带到去线下给他们，这个是一个挑战啊，但是 好像 Kevin 就是做这样的东西了，所以他才需要改进某些东西了。OK， 再下一个 topic 智能支付，前面各位以前4.0之前 ，OK， 你要接红龙 bank credit card 啊 ，public bank credit card， 你的整个操作都是 credit card machine。但4.0 ，OK， 除了一机在手，全部卡可以刷之后，还有以我的电子钱包也很通行了，短短2年，因为太方便了 ，OK。但是普遍了之后 ，OK， 还有另外一个就是easy payment。就是你买一样东西，除了很方便要刷到卡，因为卡是带顾客来给你们的嘛，你可以刷卡，他会来咯。像比如说你现在和那个你的门店，你和红龙 bank 合作，红龙 bank hold 的这个卡的人来这边可以消费就可以扣5个%，你是不是透过合作资源整合而带到顾客来 ？OK， 这样的意思了。OK， 好像easy payment也是一样咯。6个月、12个月、24个月 ，OK， 看你要怎样去给钱啦 ，OK。但是现在4.5是已经去到先买后付，就好像你们所看到这个咯 ，SOB 啊、MyIOU 啊这些，大家有听过吗？这个一定可以帮你们推到你们生意 ，OK。然后也变得一个平台，做完你全部 credit card， 你全部的电子钱包，还有你的轻松付款，就是我们的 easy payment EPP， 还有先买后付，这个是顾客要的东西啦 ，OK。这样你们又准备好这个东西吗 ？OK， 在下一个物流的变化 ，OK， 4.0 之前Office 一个吧。那些其他都不是很注重的网，4.0啊，网卖嘛，所以我们就看到很多跑出来 JNT 啦，那个 ABS 啊、Neelian 啊，这些跑出来，这个是4.0啊的变化，变成很多出来了，也很方便寄东西嘛。我们想物流变化，但是4.5又去到哪里呢？区域化的送货，区域化就是 localize，OK， 你不可能啊，现在我在昆仑喇叭。我卖一个东西去不张，我去寄那个 post 的嘛，不可能的 ，JNT 也不可能了的。你只有拿木或者co-organised或者之类的东西，这个是区域化的送货啦，一天可以到，或者几个如果你是food 来讲应该不超过1个小时可以到你家的。但是除了 food， 其实还有 co-organised 啊，还可以送货的。这样已经变成这样，你们又准备好你们的生意是如何 run 吗？就是你的货除了寄 JNT 远的地方，像附近的人跟你买呢，你可以做到尽快可以到他家吗？如果你要做到1天就到家，你一定要区域化的送货，安排你这个东西咯，对吗？好的，最后一个招商和分商，讲招商和分商啊 ，OK。成功的生意，可能你做得好，你可能开分行，德洛英丹一个啦，北江一个啦，哪里一个 ，OK， 再做下去 ，OK， 可能你的生意真的太好，你的经营模式真的不错，在那个时候，可能绝壁的人跟你绝壁，喂，绝壁的我开了，我们看假设做怎样开了，因为你的品牌真的非常的好 ，OK， 再做下去，每个做也不错了，你可能会变去 franchise， 对啊，像 franchise 对面的。这几个问题会面对什么问题呢？就是因为之前你们很成功的这个是我联络方式了哈 ，OK， 如果有谁要联络我，讲1 to 1去听，或者我们见个面，我们去分享，你可以直接联络我，或者scan这个 QR code， 你留下你的名字和你的电话，到时候我会 call 你们的。如果你们 scan 不到的，也可以用你们 Facebook search， 然后这个 barcode 这边也是可以找到的 ，OK。来这边 ，OK， 这样你会出现什么问题呢？那个瓶颈就是以前门店开不到，全部分拆，你的门店很辛苦。像现在你搞好了，你的你的网上可以卖到东西了，但是门店开始开回，你又创回你自己的问题，就是全部就好像比如说现在全部人要买东西，全部去网上买哦，这样你的门店呢，门店就没有生意了哦。其实你是要。你的网上要带生意给你的实体店嘛，这样你的实体店才可以继续去生存和长大嘛。然后还有我所讲的线上 购买线下体验，这样你可以怎样充分利用你网上的优势，全部人可以跟你买了，然后你怎样去分配给你下面的 franchise 或者分行或者你的 JV 的门店可以整齐，这样他们可以拿到他们应该拿的成长。OK， 大约是这样啦，今天我要分享的。OK， 如果每个topic如果有你们想要知道的更多的，你们可以试试看去直接联络我，或者我们看讲啦，因为大家在怡保而已，如果不是太远也可以 Zoom 啦。OK， 看讲 OK， 谢谢大家，谢谢大家的时间。OK， 现在我pass给 Stanley。
Thanks, Miles, Lai, Mike. So now I'll be sharing, especially on MDEC programs and also initiative. Just hold on, let me share the slides. Thanks, PCCCI, for the invitations. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope every one of you are doing well. And without further ado, let me begin my presentation. I'll be sharing with you what are the support probably businesses could look at from a digital perspective, and also leverage on some of the financial initiatives, particularly from MDEC, that are already available. So this is just a quick introductions. MDEC, I think all of you are familiar with. MDEC is known as Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. Basically, MDEC is a government agency. MDEC was established in 1996 as the lead agency to implement the MSC Malaysia initiative. We are close to 25 years of track record of successfully leading the ICT and also digital economy growth in Malaysia. We are mandated to drive the digital economy, and we have 4 key areas that we look at, from a skill development, empowering business, especially brick and mortar businesses, and also nurturing local tech companies so that they're able to expand their business globally. And lastly is to bring in the foreign direct investment into the country for new job creations and also to spur the economy from the ICT industry. So before I proceed further with digital adoptions program and also financial initiative offered by MDEC, all of you aware that the tourism sector have been badly impacted due to COVID-19. And there's quite a number of companies in the tourism industry have actually wind up their operation during this period. And do you want to learn how digitalizations have helped this company, especially in Bangkok, to stay afloat and also successfully to survive during this period? And let me share this success story that are very close to your heart, because the participant and also the business owner actually reside in Bangkok, Perak, and have actually joined our 100 Go Digital programs.
Hello, my name is Ding Mei Lui. I'm the CEO of Marina Century Resort Sendirian Berhad. Marina Century Resort Sendirian Berhad is a developer, and we had or reclaimed an island of 317 acres connecting the mainland to Marina Island by the 400-meter bridge. We have already completed main infrastructure such as roads, jetty complex that started off in 2002. Before COVID-19 time, we used to operate ticket selling and the scheduling of the ferries by manual way. So that means passengers or tourists will come and flocked up at the jetty with a long queue just to purchase tickets. So we digitalized our ferry ticketing and ferry operation as well. During MCO, suddenly I saw MDEC popping up on my screen. I found that there is such grant in place, so we actually explore with my team to find out more about this program that MDEC had offered. The benefits that we had is actually efficiency in time. We have already cut down from I think about 20 minutes to about 10 minutes of process. Another benefit that we gain is reducing the manpower from 4,800 hours a month to 2,400 hours a month in terms of number of people selling tickets. We no longer get complaints from passengers. In fact, the usage of our RFID or face recognition system had climbed due to its convenience. What they have is either prepaid or season pass, scan their face and enter. Well, ever since we joined the MDEC program, we are able to sleep more peacefully because we can use the data to predict the passengers and also communicating with the ferry operators to operate the ferry trips more smoothly. Experience that we gained through MDEC program, what we found is we need to better plan what do we actually want in the system to solve future problems. This program actually helps a lot, and please go for it.
Okay, I hope every one of you enjoyed the video. So this is also one of the testimonial from the business owner saying that she's able to sleep peacefully at night because of digitalizations. So now I would like to introduce to you what is this 100 Go Digital Coaching. 100 Go Digital Coaching is aimed to enable businesses in a key sector to move towards digitalizing their business so that they're able to remain competitive, sustainable, and also profitable amidst of the pandemic. And this program will incorporate a hand-on and also hand-holding component to ensure maximum impact and also effectiveness. It will also seek to support a conducive ecosystem to accelerate digitalization process so that businesses can expand their operations. The 100 Go Digital Coaching is made up of 3 components which holistically cover the digitalization cost of a business. And firstly, coaching sessions will provide an overview of process to ensure understanding of benefit and also opportunities that lies ahead. And pain point and also challenges also will be identified, and practical digital adoption guidance will be provided by our digital coaches. And this coaching workshop will be hosted by MDEC throughout the year. And secondly, businesses will be able to provide recommendations on digital solutions and also strategy to be incorporated into their respective business plan to move up the technology value chain. And finally, MDEC will do the tracking and monitoring their progress to ensure that they stay on the right track and also receive the right interventions and assistance whenever is needed. And for business owner that you want to join these coaching sessions, and kindly scan the QR code on the left-hand side. And for technology companies, if you want to become digital coaches and you want to contribute in terms of your knowledge sharing on how digitalization is able to assist SME and also businesses to kickstart the digitalization, and also existing SME that have actually adopted digital to move up the technology value chain, you must be a subject matter expert in a specific digitalization area and also subjected to certain eligible. Kindly scan on the QR code on the right-hand side. All right. So I just give you like 1 minute. If let's say any one of you are interested, you want to join the coaching session for business owner, then you scan QR code on your left-hand side. And for tech companies who want to become digital coaches, you can scan the QR code on the right-hand side. So you can actually snap a photo here. And with this, I would like to end my presentations. I would like to invite my colleagues, Ms. Fazida. She will present to you another program that we are going to launch very soon. That will be benefit to all the SMEs that want to digitalize their business operations.
Okay, thank you very much, Stanley. Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies, I can't speak Mandarin or Hokkien. Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay. Okay, now I'm here. My name is Fazida, but just feel free to call me Jade. I'm here to speak on the SME Digital Accelerator or the Digital Boost Up Accelerator program. So as informed earlier by Mr. Loh, Stanley, and also Miles, they have given you some examples on what digitization is and also what's the difference with digitalization. So that actually has helped me to better position my presentation so that the audience is able to better understand our program. So let me just give an overview of what the SME Digital Boost Up Accelerator program is, right? So the SMEs, when we talk to them, they are very much aware of the importance of digitalization in their business. It's just that they don't know where to start, they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, and then there's no structure for them to actually adopt digital in their business. And there's also the perception that digitalization will involve very high cost. So what we've come up with in this program is to provide a step-by-step approach where we will handhold the SMEs or the businesses for them to identify their pain points, solve their problems, and then they will then adopt digital in specific digitalization areas. So once they adopt, we expect them to also be able to see some return on investment or some outcome based on the results that they have obtained. So we are targeting the program to the small and mid-tier businesses in these 4 sectors, mainly retail, F&B, logistics, and also professional services. But we're not limiting the sectors or the industries to only these 4. Why these 4? It's because when we approach the SMEs, these are the sectors that we get most requests from for them to actually digitalize their business. So professional services are those like accountants, lawyers, doctors. So any other sectors or any other industries apart from these 4, you're also free to join. For example, if you're from the manufacturing, if you're from tourism and so on. Yeah. So feel free to join the program. The 7 digitalization areas that we're looking at, as mentioned, as shown in the slides, we are also hoping for the businesses, once they actually adopt digital in their organization, they will be able to see benefits in terms of an increase in the sales, in terms of the reduced process time cycle, or reduction in their man hours. So as mentioned also by Ms. Ding from the Marina Island Jetty and also from the Pustaka Rakyat. So these are some of the outcomes, some of the benefits that we expect the businesses to adopt. Okay, so what will the SMEs or the business go through when they join the program? So it's actually divided into 3 stages. The first stage is where we will onboard you for a 3-day online or workshop or training session. We will then ask you to register on the learning management portal. The reason why we have this is because we understand that 3 days could be too long for some SMEs. You're busy, you need to attend meetings, you need to chase your sales and so on. So if you miss any of the training sessions or the workshop sessions, any of the modules, you can come back, revisit. You can, because we have uploaded the recordings, we have uploaded the training materials, you can then come back, refer to this information, refer to the guides and so on for you to actually complete the overall program. So the workshop will comprise of several modules. Some of them include digital transformation. So we will inform you what digital transformation is all about, the background, how we approach it, and so on. And then we will also introduce you to design thinking and lean model canvas. So the intention of these 2 modules are for you to help you identify the problems in your business and what are the opportunities available out there. So once you know the problems, you can then focus on which area that you need to prioritize, which area that you need to digitalize first, right? So once you know your issues, you know the focus areas that you want to have, we will then also introduce you to funding, available funding in the market, like what Stanley has done just now. We have the grants, we also have some access to financing, to the loans from the banks. Then we will also do a business matching session. This is where we will introduce some technology providers. For example, last year we worked with AutoCount. So that was one of the technology providers that we had on board. So the business or the technology solution providers will then help you to select the right digital solutions for you to implement in your organization or in your business. So once you complete stage 1, which is only 3 days, you will then move to the next stage, stage 2. This is where you will actually implement the solutions. Yeah, so when you implement, you have the option whether to leverage on existing incentives, whether it's a grant, whether it's financial options, or you are also able to adopt freemium solutions. Freemium solutions are essentially free solutions where you will have a trial period. If you find that the solutions are suitable in your organization, in your business, you can then start to actually adopt them and start paying for example, subscription, start paying the monthly installments and so on. Yeah. And of course, stage 3, once you have implemented, we will then track and monitor the progress because we need to identify what benefits you have obtained from the program. So once we have seen the benefits, we will then help to showcase your success stories so that this can then be case studies for other SMEs, like you saw just now the videos from Ms. Ding, from Pustaka Rakyat. So these are examples of success stories that we want to share with our SMEs so that they can also start to adopt digital in their business. So how do you join the program? We have not, the program will start in September and it will run all the way to up to mid-December the most. Yeah. So for you to join, we are calling for business owners, especially decision makers of the company, because we need to understand what your pain points are. So only the business owners and decision makers are able to inform us what your pain points are. And then we will open this registration, whether you're a Sendirian Berhad, whether you're a sole proprietor, whether you're a corporasi, whether you're a professional, for example, the accountants and the lawyers. So as long as you have a valid practice license, you can then join this session, this program. Like I said, it's only 3 days. We will have subject matter experts to train you on the modules that we have outlined. And this program is fully subsidized by MDEC. So for example, if you see the ELSA, the last bullet, the Enterprise Life Cycle Scoring Assessment, this is actually an AI, artificial intelligence tool, which will help you to identify the gaps in your business. For example, whether you need assistance in your staff, in your management team, in your procurement, things like that. So it will identify and it will advise you for the next course what you need to do. So for other companies who actually want to just do ELSA, they need to pay almost 1,000 ringgit per company. Yeah, so we are funding this, we are subsidizing this. We want the SMEs to actually able to understand the benefits of digitalization and also assist them to actually adopt digital in their business faster. So do inform your friends, if you have subsidiary organizations and so on. So inform your business partners, they can register, they can join the program. The QR code is there for you to pre-register. So what happens is that you will answer about 20 questions. And once we launch the program in September, we will then inform you which cohort you fall under. So each cohort, like I said, will only be for 3 days. We will then advise you which week you will start on the cohort. Yeah. So that's about it from me. Back to you, Stanley.
Thank you, Jade, for the insightful sharing. So next, we'd like to invite Nicholas, one of my colleagues from the talent department, to introduce to you one of the initiatives that able to help you whenever you hire talents. The floor is all yours, Nicholas.
Okay, thanks, Stanley. Hi everyone. Again, my name is Nicholas. I'm gonna show you one of the ongoing salary and training incentive introduced by MDEC. But hold on, let me show you my screen right now. Okay, there you go. You're able to see my slide. Okay, so without further ado, there you go, as you can see from screen, the name of this incentive that I'm going to share with you in the next couple of minutes will be MyVid. In full name of it is called My Digital Workforce Work in Tech. Okay, and basically, MyVid is an incentive to incentivize company to do hiring, to recruit digital talents into your organization. So for those companies out there, if you are looking for digital talents, and this could be something relevant to you, which is to ease your financial burden, whereby you will provide 40% of salary incentive. Okay, so the next slide I'm going to show you is the two poster for MyVid. As you can see on the poster on your left hand side, there's a catch there. 31st August is the deadline of this MyVid incentive. Okay, and then another poster on your right hand side. As you can see, obviously, right, we will provide you 40% of salary incentive up to 6 months, and then with a training incentive up to 8,000 ringgit per pax. And with the total of all in both incentive, then you can basically leverage and enjoy up to how much? 23,600 ringgit incentive from us, which is for one pax, one individual digital talents that you recruited into your organization. So with that, right, imagine if you have 5 staff, 5 recruits, 10 recruits, then your benefit or incentive could be up to 100 or 200 over 1,000 per in total. Okay, so without further ado, let me share you the gist of MyVid. And as you can see here on top of the box, is referring back to the same thing. The purpose of MyVid, right, is to incentivize company, SMEs, such as yourself, whoever are doing recruitment right now. We incentivize you to do recruitment on hiring of fresh graduates, unemployed Malaysians, retrenched employees, contract workers, part-timers into any digital jobs, digital tech roles in any industry. So you hear it right, it's basically applicable for all the industry or any digital business services role in any industry. So then the next question you may ask, what are the types of digital role, right? So the next one I want to share with you, these are the 7 focus of areas. As you can see here, data science, cybersecurity, games, animation, software applications, digital global businesses, fintech, digital marketing, cloud technology. And the good news of this is all this area, the people in that particular area, they are all eligible for MyVid. So this is basically a link that you can look into all the details, the job descriptions, and etc. And don't worry, guys, this slide is available. The exact slide is available in the MyVid portal, so you can download that anytime, 24/7. But one thing I'm going to highlight here for this page will be item number 6, digital global business services. A lot of people are actually not aware of this. And our next slide, I'm going to show you what is digital global businesses, right? Global business services. What are the types of digital jobs in their particular industry? So if you click into the link and then bring you to the one of the org chart, to show you what is the DGBS about. But I've already summarized into 8 roles, digital tech roles, and from the screen you can see jobs in the relations to tech and support, customer service, back office, finance and accounting, content moderations, human resources, sales and marketing, procurement. And the good news is all of these jobs are also eligible for MyVid. So because a lot of people, previously have these impressions that digital jobs is only limiting to technology and support, IT, data scientists, and etc., or web developers. But in fact, for digital talents, it's very broad. The definitions of digital talent is very broad, and it covers, including the digital global businesses services role. It's basically part of it as well. So next, I want to bring you back to the overview of the MyVid incentive. Okay, so I'm going to share you the second part of it, which is the main attraction for MyVid. As you can see here, the total incentive minimum that you can enjoy would be 9,800 ringgit, and the maximum you can go up to 23,600 ringgit per pax. Imagine per pax. So this incentive is basically is with the combination of both training incentive and salary incentive. So speaking about training incentive, you can go, you can choose either one if you want to go for in-house training, then there's a cap for a pack, which is 5,000 ringgit. If let's say if you don't have internal staff that able to do training in your organizations, then don't worry, you can subscribe to the external training, and the limit for external training will be up to 8,000 ringgit per pax. Okay, but of course, there's a minimum requirements needed for each of the trainings. For in-house, you have to fulfill 40 trainings, and the flexibility, the flexibility of the trainings will be, can be any trainings. Be it, in-house training, product training, onboarding training, they are all, eligible for MyVid. You can claim for that. So if let's say, don't worry, if let's say you don't have in-house training to do that training, don't worry, you can subscribe to external training. So what you need to do is just to look into our, what we call MDEC Digital Skills Training Directory. There's tons of trainings, up to 300 courses that you can actually subscribe. So next slide, I'm going to share with you what are the types of trainings and how to get that into that trainings directory. So as you can see on the screen right now, there's a link below. Digital skills training directory link is a bit low. You can download this slide, click into this link, and then you have access to all these training courses available in the MDEC portal. And then one good news to share with you, as you can see here, right? Majority of the courses are IT or digital, kind of related courses. But if let's say you think that these courses are not so much relevant to the new hiring that you newly recruited, you can write to us. As long as the courses that you propose to us, as long as they are HR BCOP certified, then we will actually approve, and you can use that particular training to apply for MyVid incentive as well. So the flexibility is there for training. So moving back to the second part from incentive, which is the salary incentive. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, as I mentioned earlier, we will cover 40% of monthly salary for 6 months for you, for the staff that you newly recruited, into any digital jobs. Yeah. So, but of course, there's a minimum salary that you have to fulfill, which is at 2,000 ringgit per month, and the cap of it will be 2,600 ringgit per month. And these figures, right, is derived from 30% of monthly salary at 6,500 ringgit per month. Okay, then the next question you may probably be asked, right? If let's say you have a staff a salary of 10,000, are they actually eligible for MyVid? And the answer is yes. For those, for those high income group, they are also eligible for MyVid, but of course the cap will be still as 2,600 ringgit per month. Okay. So the next slide I want to share with you would be some of the general information pertaining to roles and responsibility. And I think this page is very clear cut. As you may know, MDEC will provide you incentive. That's it. Very simple. We'll provide you the salary incentive 40%, together with training incentive up to 8,000 ringgit. But for partners such as yourself, the hiring partners and all that, the main responsibility, right, is to hire the unemployed Malaysians. You can source it anywhere, be it job streaker or carry services, no problem. As long as you hire them and then provide them training, submit a claim later on, and to take up the remaining cost of the salary 6%, then take this chance to apply for this MyVid and before the deadline. Yeah. The next slide I'm going to share with you will be some of the general information pertaining to eligibilities for the hiring partners. As you can see here, as long as your company, most importantly, you have to make sure your companies are actually recorded, registered in Companies Act, and then with a minimum paid up capital of 20,000 and etc. I think the rest of the information are quite general, but that's one point I want to mention to you would be point E. You have to basically offer employments for a minimum of 12 months. That is one of the minimum requirements that you have to fulfill. You have to make sure your offer letter actually stay 12 months for those contract workers. If let's say they are permanent, then you don't need to fulfill that 12 months. So it's general understanding that there could be more than 12 months offering already. So next I want to share with you will be some of the general information pertaining to the employees. All right. Point A is very important. They must be Malaysians, okay? And then they have no permanent employment for a minimum of 2 months. Just bear in mind that this particular clause, right, is only applicable for those that in permanent position previously before joining your organizations. If they are permanent positions in a permanent job, then they have to be unemployed for 2 months. So in other words, if let's say they are fresh graduates, retrenched employees, contract workers, part-timers, right, they are not restricted to the 2 months of employment, meaning to say they are automatically eligible for MyVid immediately, okay? Point C is very general, and point D is very important. The commencement date stated in the letter of employment must be between last year, April 5th up to 31st August this year. Meaning to say, if let's say, right, if you have a staff newly joined last year November, let's say for example, yes, they are also eligible. They are still eligible for MyVid, and the benefits will start from last year November for 6 months. All right, this could be some of the, one of the good news, like if let's say you're exploring for incentive, and this is, the ongoing incentive that you can leverage on. Okay, even though you recruited, some of your staff last year. Okay, point E and point S very general, as long as they are not a past or current beneficiary of MyVid, they are not part of Penjana Kerjaya, Jamin Kerja, Penjana KPT CATS program, then they are still eligible for MyVid. Okay, so the next slide, I want to show you some of the general information, but I won't go deep dive into all the points stated here, but I want to highlight on 2 of the main points, which is point B and point E. Point B is basically is relating to the money matters. Okay, so a lot of previously I have a lot of inquiries basically asking me how the reimbursement works and all that, right? So basically, right, for reimbursement, you can do it every month, or you can do it quarterly, or you can do it after 6 months after the program incentive one-off claim, no problem. This is quite pretty much flexible for you. It's as long as you have the evidence, you have the receipts, then you can proceed for your reimbursement claim already. So later on, right, in my final 2 slides, I'll show you the checklist for applications together with the checklist for reimbursement. Okay, don't worry. Whereby the second thing I want to highlight to you would be point E. If let's say that particular applicants, that particular staff that resign halfway, then basically you have to inform us within 30 days. I think this is very general. Okay, the next slide I'm going to show you would be the flow. How are you going to apply MyVid incentive? So first box on your far left hand side is very important. What you need to do is to start to do your hiring, hire the candidate and then select training for them. This box is very important. If let's say you are looking for external trainers, then you basically have to get the respective quotations for trainings. Okay, so once everything information is ready, documentation is ready, quotations is ready, then you can upload everything into MyVid web portal. And from there, it takes about 30 to 40 working days, depending on the completeness of the information that you submit to us. Once you're already approved, then you proceed for partnership agreement signing. And it's very simple. And once it's already signed, and then our officer will get you on board for this, what we call MDEC e-invoice system. And from there, you can submit your first claim. Very simple. So this is my final 2 slides. Is pertaining to checklist for MyVid applications. So as you can see here, MyVid application checklist is divided into 5 components. And first, you have to give us the information about your company. It can be in the form of SSM certificates, JD, and some of the employees' informations. There's one Excel file that you have to download, fill up, and then upload back. Okay, and point D would be training informations, and this one is very important. So as what I mentioned earlier, if you select external training, basically what you need to do just to get the quotation. It's not to conduct the training, right? So it's to get, the first thing you have to do is to get quotation from the training providers. Okay, if let's say you are selecting in-house training, then it's even is much more simpler and easy. What you need to do is just to fill up the Excel form to list down, what are the trainings, what are the in-house training that you plan to do or to conduct for that particular employee. That's it. and the minimum, the maximum limit for in-house training is 5,000 ringgit. Okay, so point E would be written declarations. That's it. So for disbursement, these are the simple checklists for disbursement. If you are, once everything is ready, you recruited the employees already, you already conducted the trainings, what you need to do for the reimbursed part will be to give us the evidence for the trainings that you have been conducted, right? We have conducted, it can be in the form of training attendance and slip or completion certificate, etc. Okay, and then to prove the salary transactions, what you need to do is to give us either pay slip or EPS statement. Very simple. And then of course you have to fill up everything in a claim template. It's very important to make sure there's no boxes left empty. That's very crucial. And then lastly, society integrity and declaration pack. Now that's it for MyVid. I think it's very general. It's straightforward and simple, in that sense that we want to really get you on board on this salary incentive and training incentive. So but the last thing, last bonus I want to share with you would be some of the things that is eligible for the existing employees. So for existing employees, you can basically leverage on this, what we call digital incentive, training incentive, and also the Let's Learn Digital free courses. So what is the first, digital incentive? What is that? Basically, MDEC will provide 1,000 training incentive for those existing workers and also for gig workers, or also known as freelancer. So you can look into the website on the available courses, and basically, you can actually leverage on this to scale up your digital skill sets. Okay, Let's Learn Digital will be another free courses, which is basically open for everyone. And the providers for the trainings will be from Meta, SAS, Oracle, and Microsoft. So these are few of the reputable training providers in the market that you can also leverage on this. So of course, there's a deadline. It will be end of September. So it's a first come first serve kind of incentive. So I strongly encourage you guys, to look into this and apply ASAP. Okay, with that, this is my last slide. This my email is there and phone number is there, but I would only accept WhatsApp text only. Okay, and that's it from my side. Back to you, MC Stanley. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicholas, for the sharing. So I know for sure that I don't want to keep every one of you waiting. So this is definitely will be our last sessions. So this will be our fireside chat. Hence, I would like to invite Mike Chu and also Ms. Chang from PCCCI to proceed with this session.
Hi, Ms. Chang.
Hi, Mr. Mike. Thank you very much to Mr. Stanley, and good afternoon to everyone. I'm Ms. Chang from PCCCI Secretariat. So, Mr. Mike, would you mind to share with us why and how did you start your business with PTT? And did you start your business online first or offline first?
Since the first of our inception, we are already online. So we never operated an offline company. We has been e-commerce since day one. So we started with Facebook selling. Actually, we just sell in Facebook. We don't have a website at the beginning. And then slowly on, we moved on to closing more sales. And then we started building our website. And we have what we have today, which is integrated to all the Shopee and Lazada and all that you see now.
I see. So our next question is we would like to know, how do you manage your HR, accounting, and sales team? Do you use any digital tools on your business processes?
Yeah, of course. For accounting, we use QuickBooks. The reason why we use QuickBooks is because our website backend is WooCommerce. So QuickBooks is one of the softwares out there that can actually integrate with WooCommerce. So I think the choices of accounting software, whether Neelian or whether AutoCount, it depends a lot on whatever main system that you are using for your website, because you want to make sure that the website can integrate well with your accounting system, with your inventory system, and all the others out there. And for our HR system, we use hr.my and that is because hr.my is a standalone software, so it doesn't integrate with QuickBooks yet. So what we are looking at most probably is something like Payroll Panda, which can actually integrate back to our QuickBooks as well. So it's all about a lot of integration that we want, so that everything can be seamless. So like I think like Lo said, you want to try to reduce the amount of manpower needed for each task.
I see. So our next question will be, do you mind to share with us 2 tips about why digitalization is so important to the businesses?
Yeah, sure. I think for me, the first one would be on the data side of things, because last time when we are using, last time when businesses are using more traditional method, the data is very segmented and it's very hard to track. Let's say you buy an advertisement on a billboard, or you buy an advertisement on the newspaper. So last time they used to track it by checking how many people actually call the phone line, right? 016, they will put a very dedicated phone line. So they will advertise on newspaper, and the advertisement goes up today, right? And you track how many phone calls you get, and from that phone call, how many you actually close. So then you determine whether that newspaper ad is more effective or not. But for me personally, the reason why I want to digitize a lot is because of the data that we get at the back. The ROS is more easily trackable, and also when you have more data in your hand, the second reason would be it's easy for you to make more actionable decision from the data that you get. So yeah, that would be my tip as to why companies would want to go digital. And also at the same time, I think there's a sense of scalability over there as well. When you can see the numbers, you track the numbers, what you measure gets improved, right? So the numbers that you are measuring gets improved. So along the way, you will see better numbers. Sometimes if not, then you wouldn't know whether you're growing or not.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. Do you have any other stories regarding your digitalization journey would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, nowadays I think there is it's easier now. To be fair, it's more easier now than when we started 5 years ago, because I can see there's auto count now. They integrate with SiteGiant, which integrates with Shopee and Lazada and all that. So it makes it so much more easier. Now is the time lah. Somewhere they give you a grant and all that. When we started, we had to, number one, build our own website. Number two, we had to integrate the accounting softwares ourselves. So it makes it quite difficult also. So I think if there's one good time to go digital for your business, now is the time, because everything is integrated. People like Lo can come in and just say, oh, you want one website, you want accounting, you want HR, I can count him everything for you. That would be quite the perfect one. It might hurt for a while, 1 or 2 months, but after a while, I think it's okay. And the growth is quite exponential. I know it's scary to to jump into the online world, but it's also needed for a lot of business in terms of survival.
Thank you, Mr. Mike. I think that's all the questions I would like from you.
Oh yeah,
to
no
ask.
problem.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Okay,
I will pass back to Mr. Stanley.
Thanks, Mike and Ms. Chang. So now basically, I would like to so-called end the sessions. Before that, I would like to say a big thank you to all the panelists, especially from all the tech companies for their valuable sharing with all the audience, and also to all my colleagues. Lastly, also is to PCCCI for organizing this so-called webinar. So thanks a lot. I hope the audience have actually enjoyed the sessions. And if let's say you are interested to participate in either programs or also financial incentive, kindly so-called, I guess you have actually scanned the code, then you just need to register your particulars and details, and MDEC definitely will get back to you, right? Thank you, everybody. Right, have a nice day.